What's up, everybody? It's your boy JD back again with another video. You guys know what time it is. It's time to hop back in that Nebulas civilization, so we're about to go and get into it, see what's in store for us today. But before we do, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Want to take support any further? Patreon link is in the description below. Also join the TheOtakuFix membership and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video or go live on these channels. So let's go and get into it, man. Please give me the title of Crown Prince. If you look back at history, you'll find that Yeon rarely fails. When he desires something, he always succeeds. Other gods may fail occasionally, but Yeon does not. This must mean he prepares multiple plans for a single goal. In other words, he will create another opportunity like this again. Although my perspective is limited, I can notify you as soon as I recognize such events to ensure your safety. But that would be defying the will of our God. Aren't you afraid of Yeon? I understand his intentions, so I'm not afraid. At the very least, I know I'll be safe, but the path Yeon has prepared will inevitably harm you. And I know I won't be able to stop it all. That's why I intend to take a different path away from the one our God has laid out. I dare to defy Yeon's plans and humbly ask this of you. Please give me the title of Crown Prince. I don't even see nothing funny about it, honestly. What the fuck's so funny? What the fuck you laughing at? What's so funny? Kyle. Feels like a huge weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I acknowledge you, so I will follow your request. But you too realize that giving you the title of Crown Prince isn't something I can decide on my own, right? Yes, I'll make the necessary preparations. Now then, what should we do about that? Leaving it as it is could also be an option. The ministers most certainly won't be pleased. How do you plan to convince them? I'll explain once the Minister of Hunting arrives. Well, shit, at least he talked his way into the title. Shit. The Ministry of Hunting. Well, I have no reason to refuse such a proposal. I'll do as you say, Your Highness. And I'll be counting on you from now on, Demon. Oh, yes, he lied. Did that go according to plan? From now on, could he mean that? Are you sure this will be alright? What are you worried about this time? It's great that the third prince is intelligent and devoted to his God, but isn't it risky to let him interpret divine revelations on his own and act on them? He gets the intention correctly this time, but there's no guarantee he'll get it right next time. Having such an autonomous entity as the king is I'm not particularly worried. Why? Yes, that was a problem back when I played Lost World and thought of them as mere game characters. It was frustrating when a character didn't act according to my intentions. Though I still managed to play it just fine. But now, I know they're not just NPCs, they're real people. It doesn't matter if their intentions differ from mine, as long as they deliver the result I want. But wouldn't that make intricate gameplay harder? Your entire plan could be derailed by an entity acting out, but it could also lead to great gains, far greater than what I originally planned. If deviation from the original plan is the concern, I'll simply prepare more plans to ensure I can respond to any situation. You go that far. Look at how things turned out just now. It worked out even better. I originally intended to choose between the two since there can only be one king. But both entities are too valuable to lose. Basing giving up the throne while staying alive could prove very significant in the future. True. I'll trust Kyle's judgment. I mean, do we have a choice? Minister of Hunting, I still haven't heard any news that Manoon has been captured. What will you do if Manoon harms someone? We've already located Manoon. Is currently asleep and hasn't caused any issues so far. That's good to hear. But His Majesty is deeply concerned. He fell ill from the stress and couldn't even attend the evening meeting. If you found Manoon, you shouldn't have used the golden armor to capture it immediately. What's the delay? That was my initial plan, but I had to hold off due to a peculiar discovery. You're like, what kind of discovery? This morning when I went to the garden to track Manoon, I noticed the broken fence had been eaten away by insects. That could just be a coincidence, insect or not. Manoon would have easily broke out without any issue. That was what I thought as well, but the third prince had a different interpretation. He mentioned that Yachan often performed miracles using insects in the past. Thus, the insects eating through the fence might have been orchestrated by Yachan to allow Manoon to escape smoothly. As evidence, only the broken fences had signs of insect damage. You don't mean? Yes, this was an act of our god. I went to the Yachan's order this afternoon and consulted with the priest, and they came to inspect the site. I confirmed it myself. It was indeed a miracle. Your Highness. Okay, the second prince. This is the second prince. Okay. Kind of like a... Never mind. As the priests have confirmed, Manoon's escape was Yachan's will. I cannot dare defy the will of our God and bring Manoon back. If the priests say so, I suppose we can't do anything about it. But we can't just leave Manoon as it is. We can't starve it, and if left alone, it might harm someone. That's why I propose expanding and reorganizing the Ministry of Hunting. We can't rely on the Golden Army, which protects the palace, for this matter forever. They're like, what are you talking about, Willis? Wouldn't it be enough to just add a few members? No, we'll need oxen and carts to transport food to Manoon. And the carts will constantly need repairs from the rough terrain, which will add to the cost. We'll also need manpower and authority to monitor nearby villages in case Manoon ventures down from the mountains, as well as the ability to deploy the Golden Army in emergencies. In short, the Ministry of Hunting requires much more manpower, funding, and authority than it has now. Unless someone is here willing to defy Yachan's will and capture Manoon themselves. Is anyone here prepared to take on this responsibility? If so, please let me know right away. But of course, I can't guarantee Manoon won't cause any incidents. Well, I will hope you wouldn't guarantee that, because that would be negligent on your part to think he ain't gonna cause no type of inconveniences whatsoever. Prince Kyle truly intends to become the king. Then I'll take his advice and use this opportunity to strengthen the Ministry of Hunting and shape the political landscape and clear a path for him to become the next king. Even if it means clashing with the other ministers. Dean gradually expanded the influence of the Ministry of Hunting, and the balance of power within the palace began to shift. 6 months later. I love these time skips, boy. Pyong of Hukrin dethroned Basin Lak-Horizon as crown prince and named Kyle as his successor. 3 more years later, Pyong of Hukrin succumbed to his chronic illness, and Kyle Lak-Horizon ascended to the throne as the 11th king of Hukrin. At the young age of 15. Alright, so he's king now. Congratulations, Your Majesty. There's no need for such formality when it's just the 2 of us. Your Majesty, you are now the ruler of the most powerful nation on the continent. You must be treated with the respect of benefiting your station. I understand, but still. Tomorrow will mark your first royal council meeting, and I'm quite certain that one of the ministers will propose that Basin Lak-Horizon must be expelled from the palace. I'm sure this is one of the concerns weighing on your mind as well. Hukrin is a nation where the ministers hold significant power. However, most of them are lizardmen nobles, so their opinions are heavily biased. On surface, demanding my brother's removal may seem like a move to strengthen the royal authority. But in reality, their true aim is to assert their dominance over the new king. Basson, what do you think I should do? If that's what the ministry wants, let them have it. But you, I'll be fine. In fact, I fear my presence might hinder your majesty's reign. It is actually better this way. As a former crown prince, I cannot take on a significant role in the palace. And even if I stay, there's nothing but boars in nearby mountains to hunt. I plan to use this opportunity to venture further out and chase bigger game. Hunting. Hunting, you say? Basson, if you're willing to assist me further, I have a favor to ask. I'm sure you won't oppose to it either. You gonna make him a hunter or something? Or make him like a, I don't know. Let's see. Make him like a journeyman recruiting? Let the royal council meeting begin. As your new king, I hope you will all serve me well. While there is no urgent matter at hand, if there's anything I should be made aware of, speak now. Your Majesty. It is imperative that Prince Basson be removed from the palace. Prince Basson was once the crown prince of this nation, and while we know your majesty holds him dear, his presence may incite rebellion from those who wish to exploit him. Agreed. Which will pose a threat. He like, wait, what? He like, wait, what? I said I agree with you, Minister of Administration. I didn't think he'd agree so easily. Yeah, I thought he'd strongly oppose it. Then, I suggest Prince Basson be sent away from Orzon, the capital. That I do not agree with. Pardon, but Minister. Why do you presume to know my thoughts? I too have deliberated this matter extensively. Then what do you propose, your majesty? Are you aware that our nation still has uncharted territories, lands untouched by anyone? Are you referring to the eastern mountain ranges? Precisely, many kings have sent exploration teams in the past, but the treacherous terrain forced most to retreat. While the eastern mountains have been largely overlooked, with 5 western nations threatening us, we cannot afford to waste any opportunity to expand our territory, don't you agree? Indeed, you propose sending Prince Basson to the eastern mountains. Indeed, my brother is a skilled hunter and an exceptional warrior. I still recall the time he courageously chased after Manoon alone. The eastern mountains hold little value. It's not like the land beyond them is vast either. Still, I suppose it won't be of much issue. I believe that is a good proposal, your majesty. Good, then we should get the fleets ready. Pardon? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You want to send an expedition by sea. Since previous attempts failed when they tried to cross the mountains by land, taking the sea route around them should improve our chances of success. But your majesty, I believe there is no established sea route. Surely going by land will be more practical. The purpose of this expedition is to establish a sea route. How long should Huron leave parts of his land wasted? But operating a fleet requires significant manpower, which can increase the risk of rebellion. Then we can assign someone to keep my brother in check. But, I'll be like, you go. Good grief. Minister, are you already trying to retract your words from moments ago? Let's see, the expedition is likely to run into various wild beasts and monsters. Since it involves beasts and hunting, the Minister of Hunting shall oversee this matter. Yes, your majesty. But your majesty, we should move on to the next issue now, as we have someone waiting for us outside the council hall. Who is it? You may come. Yeah, I'm curious to know who it is too. Okay. A dwarf? What is that lowly creature doing here? Your Majesty, who is this? This is Rump from the Ministry of Engineering. It's understandable that you don't recognize him. He was a slave until recently. The position of Minister of Engineering is vacant, is it not? I intend to appoint him to that role. They're like, what the, bro, you gonna get assassinated. I ain't gonna lie, they're gonna assassinate you for me. Your Majesty, we can't let a dwarf into the sacred council hall. Why a dwarf of all things? They're lowly creatures who resist us to the bitter end. Please, Your Majesty, reconsider. And just like I planned, there's not a single word about my brother anymore. They like, bro, you trying to let a dwarf in, bro? Y'all racist? y'all some racist ass people. Shit. Alright. Alright. No, wait, okay. Alright. The position of Minister of Engineering has always been held by Lisbon. Now you want to appoint a dwarf that was once a slave. Minister of Administration. Since when did one's race become a qualification for Minister of Engineering? That position has always been for those with exceptional craftsmanship and knowledge of machinery. But up until now, every single one of them has been a lizardman. Yes, that's because up until now, the most skilled craftsmen of the time happened to be lizardmen. However, that isn't the case this time. I personally verified his abilities myself. Ministers, do any of you know the latitude of the northernmost point of Origin? As a Minister of Astronomy, I can answer that. It's 32.5 degrees. Then do you know the latitudes of Zarin, the northern coast, and Magnet at the southern end? Yeah, so you don't know shit. How you the Minister of Astronomy? Go sit down, bro. Let the dwarf do everything. The latitude changes by 1 degree for every 250 Li. Therefore, Zarin being 1,250 to the north at 5 degrees, and Magnus 625 Li to the south subtracts 2 and add to half degrees. Li is the unit of distance, roughly 1/3 of a mile. That's correct. You've answered what none of the other ministers could. How can one question be enough to prove anything? He was only correct on this one matter, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, you hold the throne because you inherit the blood of the Thunder Dragon King. And a minister holds their position because they're descendants of the warriors who fought by his side. Likewise, this dwarf was a slave for a reason. The dwarves were the lizardmen's enemies to the bitter end in Huker's history. Even after the kingdom was founded, they schemed to stir rebellion. Do you have no compassion for your people? In the past, Tartar fought 10 trolls to save half-beings, and the Thunder Dragon King opened the gates to save the slaves. If this dwarf is exceptionally skilled, why shouldn't he be an exception? Once we make an exception, there will be no end to it. If we start allowing those who aren't lizardmen to become ministers, who will remain by Your Majesty's side in the future? The ones who aren't lizardmen, clearly. Those who aren't lizardmen, duh. Please reconsider, Your Majesty. Like, that's a dumbass question. The one who ain't lizardmen, obviously. Very well, it seems more deliberation is necessary. For now, I intend to appoint Rump as an official in the Ministry of Engineering. Do you object to this as well? If he's as talented as you say, that much should be acceptable. Good. Then Rump, consider this your assignment. You may leave today. Yes, Your Majesty. Now, about the upcoming solar eclipse ceremony. He like, y'all are stupid. It's hard, man. It's hard. You gotta convince dummies. The solar eclipse ceremony. A solar eclipse, a celestial phenomenon where the sun is obscured, has long been regarded as an omen or divine message. Thus, accurately predicting the solar eclipse has been crucial for maintaining national stability. In Huker, the date of the solar eclipse is determined by comparing the 3 calculations provided by month, date, and time, the Yashinist calendar priest, the officials of the Ministry of Astronomy, and the king himself. How? Are you sure this calculation is correct, Minister of Astronomy? I've confirmed it multiple times. Using the traditional methods, it is accurate. Then why is His Majesty's calculated time 4 hours later than what the priests and officials determined? Because he's smarter than y'all. This has to be precise. Remember, during the last Royal Council meeting, the dwarf outshined your knowledge. If we're wrong this time, we'll lose our grounds to challenge His Majesty's decision. It is customary for the king to just follow one of the calculations. Perhaps His Majesty made an error in his calculations. Our methods have been passed down through the royal family and have never been wrong before. Then we must act quickly. I'm curious, is he making them second guess themselves? Did he do it on purpose to make them second guess? No matter how intelligent His Majesty is, it's impossible for all these scholars to be wrong while he alone is right. I'll point out His Majesty's unilateral decision and prove his flaw to everyone during the solar eclipse ceremony. Nah, I'm taking it that he right. But on the day of the solar eclipse ceremony, he was right. The eclipse did not occur at the time predicted by the scholars. How could this happen? The calendar priests and the Ministry of Astronomy's officials were relying on outdated arithmetic. Grump the dwarf discovered this error and informed me. That's why my calculation differed from yours. But the Thunder Dragon King's writings say the heavens aren't changing. And isn't that the very definition of an outdated text? Why can't you admit that they might have been wrong? Back then, they didn't have access to other texts. Even so, they did their best to explore and document their knowledge. But we now have access to countless foreign books. Why must we remain bound to the past? Do you think that's what they wanted for their descendants? Have any of you ever read the astronomical text from Mangul? Over time, even the heavens shift. Didn't I give you a hint about this in the last meeting? Punish those involved with accordance with the law and reorganize the ceremony to align with the correct time 4 hours later. The solar eclipse occurred exactly 4 hours later, just as Kyle had predicted. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are dumb. We should fire all of y'all from y'all positions. That's what Kyle should do. Who this? Goodbye. Oh, that's his brother. Okay. They really all look alike for the most part. It's true that the land beyond the eastern mountains needs to be explored. Besides, I need to leave the palace for Kyle's reign to thrive well. I never thought I'd be able to leave with such joy. Not pirate shame. That's the ship I'll be boarding. There are also 3 warships carrying 150 soldiers. While I'm officially the leader of this Eastern expedition, I'm barred from boarding those ships. And there's a supervisor assigned to keep me in check. I don't know who this person is, but the first candidate is probably that woman from the merchant family with long-standing ties to the royal family. Oh, she's cute. What is she, what? Do they have? Yeah, she could be. Well, no. She don't look like an elf. Vampire, maybe? Nice to meet you. I'm Tione Itimo. Okay. The pleasure's mine. I'm Bassin Laka Orison. I see you're an elf. Oh, you're the first person to notice right away. Okay, normally elves don't have red hair, so it kind of threw me off. Most lizardmen can't tell the difference between human elves and nixes. I look forward to working with you. But before that, there's something I want to say. What is it? First of all, no matter how noble you are, on my ship, you follow my orders. If you don't like it, you'll have to find another ship. As long as your orders are reasonable, I have no issue with that. Oh, you're not as rigid as I thought. Since you're the leader of the expedition and a guest on my ship, I'll do my best to accommodate you. Thank you. Bassin ain't really that hard to deal with, based on what we've seen. He pretty much goes with the goddamn flow. You're like, okay, as long as it ain't, you don't have me jumping off to go sea diving on excursions and shit, I'm cool. By the way, where's my luggage? Oh, Maddie is bringing it over, so don't worry. Maddie, that's a cute name. I never said it was a name, but since everyone calls him that, I guess it kind of is. The fuck is this? Bruh. Who called me? Oh, who called for the chief mate? Well, whatever. I guess the chief mate. I guess that's what the fuck he said. That's our chief mate. He like, bruh. He always calls himself Mwade. Chief Mwade. So we just call him Matty. He like, right. Bassin like, okay. Oh, this shit crazy. Bass like, remind me not to piss him off. Remind me not to piss him off for whatever reason. Big ass. Fucking big for... Hopefully you ain't just big for nothing. Seems like this isn't your first time seeing an orc. Most people panic when they meet him for the first time. I've seen a few back at the palace. Nice to meet you, orc. I'm Bassin Lack Orison. Nice to meet you, lizard. You're Maddie. Okay. Do you not have a name? I did. But I chief... Okay, you're Maddie, bro. I didn't like it, so I threw it away. I don't believe I ever seen an orc working on a ship before. Won't it be more practical for smaller races to be on board, since food supplies are limited? Right, lots of small friends. But I chief, work as much as I eat. You see, Matt is actually from Zarin, on the northern coast. That makes sense. The ogres from the northern coast have always been known for their intelligence. I've heard it's a remnant of the old god's power. Although their blood is mixed over time and they're not as smart as they once were. Even in Ukraine, the ogre who wears clothes is considered a valuable worker. Still, seeing an ogre on a ship, let alone as first mate, is quite a surprise. That's not something you ever see in the royal palace. Abandoned land. Land no longer scarce. Okay. They just like, you got it, bro. Yo, big ass, you got it, fam. Creatures on land not stronger than me, weak. So, Chief Wonder boarded the ship in the sea. Well, I hope you succeed in defeating the sea. I think Bad's gonna be like, I think I'm gonna like this place. There's no way that orc is my supervisor, right? Oh, right, your highness. Just call me Bassin. I can't call someone of your status by name. Just call me Commander, since I'm the leader of the expedition. Alright, Commander. You know where we're headed next. We're sailing south past Magnan and following the eastern coastline from there. No? Yes, that's a general route. But our next stop is actually... Is it Babrin? The second largest seaport on the continent after Orison. But isn't that in Danyan? Why are we going there? Because this is a merchant ship. So, stopping there to trade goods. I'll explain the details later, but for now, let me show you where you'll be staying. We're setting sail soon, so follow me. Oh, there you are. So you're not seasick. Are you surprised? I have a question. You're a merchant, so why would you take on such a troublesome job as assisting an expedition? For profit, of course. Ukraine's royal family always pays generously for their commission. This time, they gave us glass artworks as deposits. Okay, yeah, you ain't turning that down. Glass art, I recall breaking a few when I was young. You wouldn't know the value since you're a prince, but Ukraine's glasswork is exceptionally intricate and sells for a large sum overseas. That's why we're headed to Barbara to sell them. Then I assume you'll also buy something from Barbara to bring back. Of course, why would a merchant ship ever sell empty? Besides, there are also something we've been requested by the palace to purchase. What did they ask you to get? Oops, I was supposed to keep that a secret. A secret? Well, since you're the commander, I guess it's fine. I've been asked to purchase saltpeter. I don't know much about it, but I heard it's abundant in Mangle and good for farming. Are they planning to use it for large-scale farming, like how the chosen ones strike the land with lightning to make soil more fertile? We're talking about the thunder ritual. I attended one myself when I was little. It was incredible. But if buying saltpeter was Kyle's order, why did he urge them to keep the purchase a secret? Bro, you don't understand how dumb these people are and how closed-minded they are. After the solar eclipse incident, Kyle began solidifying his control over internal affairs of the court. Those who posed a threat to the throne were forced to step down under the guise of voluntary resignation. And the ministers, who had once supported Basil, were probably summoned and reassured. Reassured technically. I thought your majesty would ask for my resignation. I'm truly grateful for your kindness. Why do you think I would dismiss you? Well, I thought your majesty intended to replace all the old ministers. And since I come from a humble family without even a family name, I thought I'd be cast aside. What does it matter if you have a family name? It means my family contributed nothing when Yukon was founded. So how can I not feel ashamed? That means you rose to your position entirely by your own merit, not through your family's influence. That proves you're all more competent, does it not? Your Majesty. Hope you will continue to serve me well. I am truly honored, Your Majesty. I will serve you with my utmost devotion. I'll be looking forward to it. Now then, take care. Looks like the Minister of Finance didn't seem to be hiding an ulterior motive. Yes, it appears so. Just because you don't get along with him doesn't mean you should keep suspecting him. But Your Majesty, Demon, do you now realize that you're enjoying this political bloodbath? It's time to let go of the old grudges. You're right, Your Majesty. I will restrain myself. He like, I ain't gonna sit here and say I ain't gonna enjoy it from time to time, no, but good. Now then, what happened to the Horn Alchemist from the Wee family? Do you mean Lavina Mule? Yeah, y'all know the whole thing. As for her, she should have arrived at the palace by now. So something happened to her. Or is that her? Nope, Lavina Mule Wee. Why would His Majesty summon her? The Wee family. A prestigious family that has ruled the Automation Castle and held the title of Margrave for generations. They also renowned across the land as great merchant family, having served as secondary advisor to the royal court for just as long. It is widely acknowledged that the Wee family holds the greatest power among all non-Lizardmen families, but just as the shadow grows dark under the stronger light, despite their brilliant prestige, they harbor a dark secret. The Cursed Horns. A long time ago, there were rumors of a staghorn lord of the Automation Castle. Now most dismiss it as mere symbolism or legend, but the higher-ups of the Wee family know the truth, that this is no baseless tale. There are indeed children born with horns in the Wee family. Every child born with horns without exception goes mad. They taught to themselves to display inexplicable and peculiar talents, and ultimately descend into insanity. That's why they cut off their horns and grind them down. If they do that, they can live normal lives. The legend says that Guang Hui used the power of the horns to become a great merchant. But in the end, even she met a tragic fate. And because she had Lizardman named Sarah Mule as her lover, there were even rumors that horned children were half Lizardmen. That's why all horned children are given the middle name Mule, even though it's impossible for humans and Lizardmen to have children together. If only that was the end of the story here, though. Lavina Mule Wee. Lavina look crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. Lavina do look crazy. Let's not sit here and say she don't. She was quite the peculiar one. Hello. Lavina like, what up? I'm here. What's good? That's it for today's video, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about everything that happened in the comment section below. So you guys want to keep up with me, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, links, all of that is in the description as well. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.